For this assignment, we're going to posterize a portrait of one of the artists, dancers, choreographers, musicians, etc. that you researched in a previous assignment. In this case, I'm going to use Pablo Picasso, who's one of my favorite painters. So I'm going to Google Chrome. I've already typed in photo of Picasso, and I'm going to do a color photo. But the other thing I want you to do is to make sure to go to Tools, Size, larger than 1024 by 768. I'm going to use this color photo even though the top of his head is cut off. Make sure to not just copy this one, but go to View Image, holding the Control key down, clicking on the image, say Save Image As, and I'm going to rename this Picasso and put it on my desktop. If your screen, when you do the Save As, looks like this, just click this little arrow and then you can see your options here. So click on Desktop and Save. Then you can quit Google by holding the Command key down and hitting the letter Q. Next, I'm going to go to Photoshop. Remember, in yours, it might be at the end, inside of a blue folder over here with a black stripe on it. Go to Photoshop, File, Open. Click on the desktop, click on the photo, and say Open. The first thing I want to do is convert this to a black and white photo. So I'm going to go to Image, Mode, Grayscale. And it's going to take out all of those tones. I'm a little concerned that there's a lot of stuff in the background here. I'm not going to worry about that for this particular exercise, but if you want to, you can go through and erase everything around the back. It'll make for a nicer portrait. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just want to show you the procedure. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Image, Mode, Duotone. And since I've done a few of these already, I've already got colors selected in here. Have to make sure that you name the colors. You might get an error message if you try to say OK. Also want to choose a little bit darker of a blue. And click OK. And OK again. With the portrait looking like this, I'm going to go up to the Window menu, go down to Adjustments. When this palette pops up, you want the second one. If you hover over it, this yellow box will come up and it'll say Create a new Posterize adjustment layer. So click that, and it automatically posterizes the image. You might want to change the levels to 3. If it gets too dark, change it to 5 so that you get all of these different layers. Then to close this box, click these double arrows to the right and it'll close that. The next thing I'm going to do to make this a little more simple is I'm going to click on the original, go up to Filter, down to Blur, and select Gaussian Blur. What that'll do is that'll simplify the image. You can see the difference here. This is currently set to 4 pixels. And I'll click OK. If you notice, it would make more sense to outline and erase all of this around here, because I would really rather see more of the details of his face. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Go back to Image, Mode, RGB Color, Flatten, and then File, Save As, and add to this underscore, first initial, last name. Make sure it's yours, not mine, and the period number that you're doing this assignment in. In this case, I'm going to use period 3. Make sure this is set to JPEG, not Photoshop, and save. And that's all there is to it. The last thing you need to do is go back to your Google Classroom and upload this final image to your Google Classroom. As soon as my computer starts. So go back to Google Classroom, open the assignment over here where it says Add, File. Click this center box that says Select Files from your computer. Click on this one, which is the JPEG that you just colorized, and say Open. Upload. And then turn in. And turn in. You should be able to finish this in one class period. But watch the video first, and then turn in the assignment. Make sure that it's labeled like this. This is the artist's name, underscore, your first initial and last name, underscore, P3 or 4, .jpg. And you'll be done.